The console. The console is the first window you see when you start a Win automation. From here, you will be able to access every other parts of the program. So the 7 parts of the windows are the robot tab, the logs tab, the trigger tab, scheduler tab, option tab, folder panes, and robot panes. So let's get into each of the tabs now. So in the robot tab in Win automation console, you will be able to find various options like create, edit, execution, compiler, the robot folder list pane, and the robot list pane. So in the create group, you can create a new robot, create a new folder to save your robots, import or export a robot in or out of the console. In the edit group, you can edit a robot in the robot designer by clicking a robot designer option, view its property, delete a robot, select all the robots in the folder that you are currently in, rename, cut, copy, paste a robot, and enable or disable it. In the execution group, you can execute, run, start a robot from a console or stop it at any time before its completion. And this compiler option, it is available only for the professional edition and it is not applicable for the standard edition. So with the professional edition, you are able to create a standalone executable file that can run on any machine. So now coming into the robot folder pane, list pane. So in this pane, you are able to view your saved robot folder and structure. And the robot list panes, in this pane you can see all the robots that are saved in a specific folder. You can click on the folder in the robots folder pane and all its robots will be listed in the robot pane. You can create a new folder by the create menu group in the robot tab after clicking the new folder. I'll just name it to be demo 2, or by right clicking on the folder pane and selecting the new folder, this creates a new folder that is waiting for you to rename. For example, I'll just go and click over here, and if I just go and right click, there's a new folder option. I'll make it to be named 3. Okay, and the new folder will be created as a subfolder under the folder which is selected in the folder list. It will always be a subfolder of whatever folder you have created in the left screen, and therefore you cannot create another folder at the same level with the same name whatever you have named it earlier. So, and you can always drag and drop a folder. Like for example, if I just go and drag it and I put it under demo 2, so here is the folder structure which is maintained, and you cannot have the 2 folders with the same name. So if I just go here and make it to be demo 1, so this is it gives an error pop-up saying the folder already exists. Now we will see how to create a new robot. You can create a new robot by pressing Ctrl N or by clicking a new robot button on the robots tab. This will open the create new robot dialog, prompting for the name of the new robot. So after setting the robot's name, you will be having 3 options. The first option will be robot designer, the second would be macro recorder, and the third would be web recorder. So in robot designer, you can start building your robot by combining various actions, and using macro recorder, you can jump to record your mouse clicks and keystrokes and then go back to the robot designer. And finally, using a web recorder, you can start navigating in the browser window where all your web activities will be recorded and converted into actions when you finish the recording and return to the robot designer. And one thing to note over here is that whenever you enter the robot designer, you will be having access to the other recording tools like your macro recorder and web recorder from within the robot designer window, and the tools are available in the robot designer toolbar under the tools menu. To re-edit the robot later, what you can do is you can first double click on it or select it and click on the robot designer button icon on the robots tab, or right click on the robot and select edit robot. Now let's see how to import or export a robot. WinAutomation stores all the robots in the database. Therefore, there are no obvious robot files to move or copy. To copy a robot onto another computer that has the WinAutomation installed, export the robot, and this will create a file with an extension WAJ. So this file may be moved to the another computer with WinAutomation and then imported into its database. Now the new computer will also have the copy of this robot, and this is done through the import robot and export robot option which is present on the robots tab. So now let's see on the export robot option. To export a robot, locate the robot you wish to export and from the robot list pane and select the export robot option in the create menu group. Having done so, a dialog will appear and prompt you to select the folder where the robot should be exported to. Once the folder has been selected and you press the OK button in the dialog window will close, and within the folder you selected a new file will be created named after the robot's name with the .waj extension. So now if you need to import a robot onto the other system, all you need to do is just open a WinAutomation console in the other system, and from the robots tab in the create menu, please select the import rob option, and having done so, a dialog will appear and prompt you to select the robot file you wish to import. Okay, that file will be in the extension WAJ. Once the file has been selected and you have to press the open button, dialog window will close and within the WinAutomation console. So in the robot panel, you shall see the robot you selected to import, and the import will be successful. Now coming into the run or stop option which is present in the robot tab, you can start a robot manually by clicking the start robot icon. Clicking the start by right clicking on the robot and choosing the run robot, or through the use of the triggers. The robot you want to start must be highlighted. If no robot is highlighted, the start or stop buttons will be in the disabled status, so it will not be available. Let's move on to the enable and the disable option present on the robot tab. So by default, the robot, whenever it is created, it will be in the enabled status. If you disable a robot, it cannot be run either manually or by any trigger. So this is useful for making sure that the robot that is not supposed to run for any reason will not start accidentally or automatically whenever you schedule or run it. So you can, however, edit a disabled robot and run it through the debugger. You can enable or disable the robot by selecting it and choosing the enabled robot or disabled robot. It is as simple as that.